Hey, y'all. I always say hey, y'all too early.
A little too early. A little too early.
Well, I say it after it says live. You're live. Miss Dinah at Justice Acres and Rehab Life. How are y'all?
Hello, hello. Is everybody doing good tonight? We'll allow everybody to get on just for a second. And I beat it, so it did not get loud.
We do this every week.
Hey, Haley 1013, Rebecca Stanley.
Grammy Karen.
Grammy Karen, how are you? Don Golf, how are you? Glad to see y'all on.
I know Colby come in this afternoon. He was like,
hey, Miss Cecilia.
The heat.
Hey, Linda.
The heat. We just can't take the heat anymore.
I'm over the heat.
I was telling him, I was like, well, I actually went and got in the car yesterday after the car had sat up all day. And we needed to run an errand, and we went and got in the car. Well, of course,
Sam.
the windows and stuff weren't down. And
thanks for coming on, man.
It was so hot in there. I felt like I was going to suffocate. It was so hot.
You know, we hadn't had fall weather, but what is cool, though, is we have had some cool mornings, which has been nice. When I milk it at
well, you know, this afternoon when the kids are swimming, I was sitting in the swing under the shade, and when the wind, it was really, really windy. And I know when I sit down, I cannot help it. So don't start that.
Hey, Mimsy, how are you?
Anyway, the wind was blowing, and it felt really, really nice outside. But when the sun is up,
hey, Karen, how are you? Welcome.
If it's any time before 5, it's
hey,
like
Miss Vicky.
on fire.
Yeah, and so I milk it around 4:30, and it felt good the last 2 mornings. It really has. So I'm happy about the temperatures kind of getting a little lower. We're still very, very hot here. So it is cool though, because you're starting to see some leaves change, which around our time we start getting droughty anyway. So you never know if it's from dry weather or fall, but it is pretty to start seeing.
Hot. I feel like at this time of the year, like it's so hot that the sun is literally is burning everything.
It is.
Like
it is killing everything.
Even I have taken stuff out of my greenhouse and have not really done anything any different, but I feel like the sun just like literally bakes it to a crisp. That makes any sense.
We're actually, I got to cut grass and all that tomorrow too, but we're going to pull up all our old tomatoes and old lettuce seeds that we already got and all that good stuff tomorrow out of the raised beds and kind of prep them for getting ready for fall. Because it can't stay, it just can't stay cool enough. It's just hot.
Yellowstone National Park, so Old Faithful will blow 2 times. That is absolutely amazing.
That is amazing. That's a long ways. We talked about one day going on a 2-week journey, but we would have, it cost us no telling what just to get our farm taken care of.
Well, it would have to be in a time period where the
cows are not
milking.
Yep.
Where we were just having people feeding basically and not milking, because I don't think anybody could handle that.
We've never been that far away for that long of a time, Grimmy Karen, so it would be crazy. I don't
think we've ever taken 2 weeks off.
I don't know if we've ever taken really a week off, have we?
Not a full week.
We've never taken a full week.
I think 4 nights, 5 days is the longest we've ever taken off. Like in our whole years of marriage.
I think this last time we went, we may have stayed 5 nights. I thought we stayed the extra night. Did we not stay the extra night?
I think that was still 4 nights, 5 days. I can't remember though. That was the longest trip that we have ever been on. Though that was the longest. A 2-day journey sounds nice right now. Hey, look, this whole year we have only gone just up to the mountains. That's all we've done.
And we work up there a lot of times just because it's our place. So.
And some of those days are actually devoted to work.
Hey, little feet. Hey, no, Bailey, how are you? Thank y'all for coming on.
From Kentucky, we have a good Kentucky crowd on here tonight.
Yeah, definitely.
I think 5 days is the longest they took off.
I love the Appalachian Trail. It's absolutely wonderful. So, all right, so tell us what's going on. I can tell you, as you can see by our title, everything is dead.
Everything.
Everything.
The sun is literally killing everything.
Everything's dying.
One of the girls, we were driving up the driveway, and they said, why are all the leaves starting to fall on the ground? And we were like, well, baby, it is starting to transition till fall,
Yeah.
but it is so hot and it is so dry. I mean, everything is just trying. I don't think we could water every day and it'd be enough to put enough water on the ground. It is just so hot and dry here right now.
We actually had, I mean, like the grass in certain areas it's just yellow.
Dying.
You know, it's just dead. So we actually, if y'all remember our big farm, it has our beef cattle on it. We're actually hopefully going Sunday after church. We're going to try to go up there and seed some Bahia and Bermuda grass and also some winter grass, hoping to really get it set up really nice for the rest of this year, but really more for next year. So if you remember all that area we cleared out and kind of cleaned up, it's looking nice. So we're hoping to really get some grass established. Happy birthday, Kieran Alexander.
Yes, and Rehab Life, you don't mind, please keep that family in your prayer as his dad is on hospice, and we know that's tough. That's a huge ordeal and a lot to prepare for mentally and physically and emotionally, spiritually. So if you guys wouldn't mind, Rehab Life, their family, and parents in your prayers.
But thank you again, Miss Kieran. Happy birthday, and thank you for watching our videos. That means a lot. We had a pretty wet summer and spring, early summer and spring, right, Rebecca Stanley. But it seems like we kind of hit a drought about 3 weeks ago, and it really hasn't. And we had 2 good days of rain between that, but it really wasn't. Yeah, that's about it.
I can remember one morning you got up and milked, and it flooded.
Oh my gosh!
And then after, like, you got back in, got dressed, went to work, like the ground had looked like, I know, but the ground had looked like it had not even rained. Right. That's how dry our ground is.
Kathy.
Thank you, Little Feet Farm Homestead. We are preparing to help with her service. We'll be going to her services and doing some meals and stuff for the family again. You guys heard me talk about several weeks ago, we went up to visit my friend in Arkansas who was sick with cancer, and
hey, Miss Stacy.
She has passed away, and she has 4 children and a husband. One of her children is married, but the other children are in school and college still, so it's been rough on them. She was diagnosed, I think, last fall. Towards the end of last fall.
Homestead, how are you, man?
Just had a very aggressive form of cancer, and MD Anderson done everything that they could do for her, and she passed away this week. So it's been bittersweet because we were dear friends with them. Even though that they had been moved to Arkansas for some years, she had a beautiful smile, and she's going to be missed. So thank you for that.
Noah Bailey, we will be praying for you and your daughter as she has a double mastectomy tomorrow. So be praying for y'all. Y'all remember Noah Bailey. And then, that's right, North Star Prep State, Misty got to go up there and spend some time with her. So it was really good. Always really nice. So, thanks, Mamba Homestead, for sure. But hey, again, we're just going to get to spend some time with them this weekend, so it'll be good. So, what's everybody doing? Has anybody started their fall gardens?
We did.
Hey, we did.
Hey.
Well, our video should be coming out Friday.
Yeah, but I don't know if the ground might be like scorching those seeds. Yeah. Oh, it has been
But I will say this, and you'll see the video tomorrow. Oh no, not tomorrow, Friday. We usually don't plant this early, and I actually made that comment about video or two, the last 2 videos I think talking about planting September 15th or so. That's kind of when we plant. But we got 2 new varieties of heat tolerant items, so we're going to try to plant and see if it goes well. So y'all kind of walk with us on that. It's a trial basis. If it turns out good, we'll give you some ideas for some good seed for next year. We got some people tilling up for their gardens. Sam has. And yes, we're glad to start at Grandma Kieran. Hello, Rolling Homestead and Wild Edibles in Wisconsin. Thank you for coming on.
Grandma Kieran, do y'all know where you're going yet? Waiting on grandson number 4 to get here. That's sweet.
Well, we know where the divers are going. Grandma Kieran, I imagine, is going pretty close as well. So, no, Bailey, when should I sow turnips? It's really the time to sow turnips now until really from August 15th. Yeah, it depends on your zone. Like we're zone 8B. If Noah Bailey's from Kentucky, you're probably in 7 or so, maybe 6, but probably 7, I would imagine. But you want to be sowing basically from August to September. So you realize the time to sow now.
Rehab Life spinning hot peppers. 6B. Not yet near
good
the
luck,
kids
Grammy
for
Karen.
sure, but waiting to get our house on the market maybe 2 weeks.
Let's see. Well, I've got to
that's
say
a huge
I've been eating some of the hottest peppers I've ever had in a while. I don't even know what kind they are, but they are hot. Rehab Life, we have 2. We actually had some jalapenos this year that were just crazy.
We actually had a friend over for a youth event. Their children are part.
He lives in South America, so he knows.
Hot peppers. So we gave him some, and he started sweating. We had to get him a cup of milk. We were like, "Well, we told you they were hot."
Zone 6B. Yeah, so you need to be sowing now, Noah Bailey. Greens do pretty well throughout cold weather. In our area, we don't get a lot of frost and a lot of snow, so they do really well here, even all wintering. We winter them pretty much all year. Y'all probably won't be able to winter them as long. So, ready to go to Mississippi? Absolutely. It's just hot. Just be ready.
There ain't much here. I mean, you can farm a lot, but
true. I mean, good gardens. That's about it. Let's see. So we canned some North Star Pepper said canned beets and banana peppers today.
Wow.
Miss Kathy, I'm gonna let you have the beets. We're not beets people. I'm sorry. Used to live in Memphis. Oh, you know what the temperatures are. They're very hot there too. We're about 3 hours from Memphis, but it's still pretty hot up there too. Kieran Alexander says, I have wild northern bobwhite quail in my yard eating the other birds. Wow, that's crazy. We used to have quail around here a lot. People raise quail, excuse me. So people raise quail, but used to have just wild quail all the time in our area. I don't hardly ever see them at all. Rehab Life, you are correct. Beets taste like dirt.
I would say the biggest problem with our birds right now are getting out. Like I told Colby tonight, like the meat birds have a 60-watt Premier One charger on their fence, and they're still getting out. We've never had meat birds get out like this. I'm ready for them to go into the freezer so they'll quit running all over my yard, because we just barked a lot of the landscape, and they have literally just destroyed it. So Aiden Colby's gonna have to fix that.
No, Bailey,
so I'm ready for them to go.
I'm sorry. Hey Kim, how are you? We live in South Mississippi, no Bailey. Yeah, Southern Bliss Homestead. I know y'all are having a little bit cooler temperatures up in North Mississippi. We've had cool mornings. Not cool. I wouldn't say cool mornings. We've had enjoyable mornings.
Yeah.
But we're back hot by the time it gets about 10. So.
And then Bazaar pepper.
I've never heard of that, Sam.
I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Our meat birds do well. We free range our meat birds, but we free range them in the nets.
Hey, fancy farmer.
This has probably been the first time though that our meat birds have done great. I'm not saying they've not done good. They just seem to want to get out more. Now they don't go far, but like they said, like Missy said, they come into our one bark bed.
Yeah, they like to dig up the bark, which is so annoying.
Hey, Cindy Brown, how are you? I know I said hey to Kim. I think I missed her a while ago.
No, Rehab Life. Look, when you're up and you run all day, I did get to sit down for about 45 minutes today. But when I stop and I sit down, especially late in the evening, it just makes me so tired.
Yeah, milking is not fun in the heat, and that's why I milk at 4. So, where the heck are you gonna put them? Freezer's full, right? Yes, they are full.
Well, we actually have had some people in and out, just picking up random things on the farm. Even just within like the past 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
I've had multiple people see the meat birds in the front yard and want to buy some. So that is, if we sold half of them or a little more than half, that would be great.
We need to sell probably at least 50 to 20
Let's see. I can think of 3 families off the top of my head that have been here like within the past week and a half that have mentioned wanting to buy some meat birds. So that would be amazing, and they don't like much more.
No, they don't. Probably about 3 weeks.
And I am ready. Those suckers. I mean, we've never had meat like our last meat bird batch. Not one got out. I think every single one of these have been out. However, I think had we put them in the fence when we first put the big charger on, and let them get the crap shocked out of them first.
Sam's coming to help us too, by the way.
Then we would have trained them right. But now they know that they can get out, and they'll take the shock to get out. But had we trained them right from the beginning, they would.
We do have one more freezer coming, Miss Cecilia. It should be here in September, and I'm hoping we'll start clearing out some of this other area as well.
Forget the chicken. I'm ready for
pig.
I'm ready for the
We need to be butchering
pork,
bacon, 2 or 3 pigs.
Ham. I mean, that's stuff that we eat every single day.
Rehab life. I feel you. I sleep about 4 to 5 hours myself at night. No, Bailey, we're not far from Deep South. Mimsy's probably real close to Deep South. Mimsy's garden that's on here. We're about 2 hours.
She's only like
minutes.
Yeah, like 30 minutes maybe.
We're about 2 hours from them. But thank you for watching us as well. Let's see. How much will we sell them for? Kim Winkler, we try to grow about a 3.5, 4 pound bird. And we try to sell for $3.50 a piece for organic raised bird.
I feel like 4 pounds, 4 to 4.5 pounds is a good size.
Now, if we were raising them just for us, if we're saying this is only for us, you can raise a bigger bird. The only thing about it, people are only going to pay so much for a bird. It's based on poundage. So if we raise a 6 or 7 pound bird, which is possible,
people around here are not going to pay
$25-$30 bird, and that's just not feasible here.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to try to get to that $12 to $15 bird. That's fully organic, that can feed you 1 or 2 meals, or it feeds our family 1 meal. So, I mean, it's a good quality meat, and again, it's organic.
You're doing a pig soon. As soon as we get a freezer, a pig's gone.
Actually, probably 2 pigs, maybe.
Well,
2 pigs.
Hey,
McLeod, how are you,
they're ready. They're size they need to be. They look great. They're super lean. I mean, just beautiful. But we don't have anywhere to put them. When we took Ike, he was over 200 pounds worth of beef.
He's 400 pounds.
That just went in our, that's what I'm saying, over 200 pounds of just meat that went in our freezer. So that like really, I won't say hurt us, blessing, but it really put a damper on the amount of space that we have. So,
And I see a lot of people, Fancy Farmer and Kim Winkler, all are saying their price for birds is definitely higher. And I'm not saying we won't go up a little bit, but really, we want to test our markets. We've stayed around $3.50 for our chickens, and we're going to be around $3.50 for our pork. We're going to do a pork share this next year, and probably going to do a beef share, but our beef share will probably be closer to $3.75 to $4.
Yeah.
So.
Do you process on farm, your pigs on farm, or do you take them somewhere?
Two answers to that, Cindy Brown. This one, the first set we will be taking to process because we want to leave skin on. They'll scald, and
we don't have access to a scalder right now.
That's right. We want more of the fat on and lard on. The ones we do on farm, if we do on farm, which we can, we've done barrel hogs on farm. You skin them out like a deer, so we don't get as much. We're gonna make more sausage out of those more than we're gonna make the true cuts like we're looking for on this first set of hogs. So that's a 2-question, yes and yes. Both of them are the right answer.
I'm cleaning out my freezer and getting ready for the winter stock.
Your freezers are overflowing. Mm-hmm. Last video, oh my gosh, yes, they are overflowing. They are overflowing.
Still here trying to save some tomato seeds. Hey, that's awesome.
Awesome, Kim.
I went and got marigolds out of the garden. What else was over there? Purple lettuce seeds, and what else was over there?
I can't remember. Spinach? No, what spinach? It was
marigolds, purple lettuce, and
anyway,
I went and got some seeds just the other day, and I still have to get. Oh, it was sunflower seeds.
Like, I absolutely love fall.
But I still have to get basil.
I know you are talking about winter stock and things like that. For us, our winters are not brutal, so we really enjoy them. I mean, like I do. Misty is still cold nature, so she's not too crazy about them. She's pregnant this year, so she'll probably like them this year. But I love winter. I cannot wait for winter.
Fancy Farmers talking about grass fed.
Let's see. What was it, Sam? What was the total? What was his total weight? The steer was around 450 when he actually went into slaughter. He dressed out at 212. So really, literally half.
Fancy farmer said it's weird though because the grass-fed, grass-finished, no antibiotic, no hormone beef is less than the grocery store. You're absolutely right.
That's right. So we actually raised ours strictly that way. We ran our
numbers and did it on video.
And was
the breakdown will blow your mind.
And I broke them down. If you remember, I broke them down 2 ways. One, in buying your steer, because a lot of people have to buy their own steer, which we did with Ike. Secondly, if you're raising them, it's probably a third of that. So you're exactly right.
Which Christoph will be our own raised, born on farm. Basically zero cost to us.
That's right. Grammy Karen said, Max, you have so much more to do on your farm, on your to-do list than processing chickens. Amen. Actually,
cleaning out those beds, re-prepping beds and stuff like our beds up here. Hey, Bandana Grandma. Our beds up that are on the opposite side of the strawberry patch, all of our raised beds down here where our tomatoes, our onions, lettuce, what else did we have up there?
Oh my gosh, I can't remember.
It was mostly tomatoes, all of those beds needed, all of that stuff is played out. It's dead.
Tomorrow,
it's been burned. All of that stuff is going to come up. We're going to re-fertilize with some compost, some fish emulsion, some top dressing and cover them up and just kind of let them rest until we're ready to put the rest of our fall stuff there, which is likely going to be, I know we'll have to designate a little bit. Well, you were planning on putting some carrots down in the other.
Well, I don't know. I think I'm going to go back to the raised beds. I think that soil might not be quite ready for a carrot.
Okay.
So,
some things like carrots, the onions, some of the onions will go up here.
Yep.
Some things like that. So.
Fancy Farmer, have you grown rutabagas? We don't grow rutabagas. I know a lot of people that do more like a smashed rutabaga to make them like a smashed potato or a mashed potato. We just don't grow them. We grew some fun stuff not too long ago. But to be honest with you, we've gotten to where we have so much.
Through here now.
We have so much that we grow, and because we grow so much and sell some of it, give some of it away, and put a lot up, it's hard for us to put other beds and stuff that we may not like as much. So, for instance, like our potatoes are almost played out, and I mentioned that in the last video, but we've got our sweet potatoes that are coming right in, which will take the place of the mashed potatoes or the potatoes. Our herbs were booming this year, Little Pete, so we dehydrated all ours. We've got cans and cans and cans of herbs, so we're strong right there. Let's see. Rehab Life. I love winter too, all 3 days. We had a little bit better winter last year than we did the year before, but the cooler the better for me. I absolutely love it that way. Sam, I like growing carrots. I mean, I really do. I enjoy growing carrots. They're fun. I enjoy eating carrots. It's not like a daily staple for me, but I just enjoy carrots. They're fun to eat and enjoy them. I like them raw, though. I don't like them cooked. Bring on winter. I agree fully. You think we are in for a rough winter? I think there's a lot of places that will be in for a rough winter. I don't think the South is going to see too much rough winter because I don't think we even know what rough winter is. I think we're going to see I thought we were going to see a bad hurricane season, so I'm glad we're not seeing that either. So that's the only thing I'm glad we don't see. Rhea Black says, well, do you have the no-till garden? Just too bad it's not no work too. I agree. I saw that comment that you made on my video. No-till gardens are crazy amount of work up front, but man, once it's done, it's done. It makes it a lot easier. So I challenge you, if you hadn't seen those videos, go watch them because they are awesome, I think. Let's see. Hey, Henry's honey, what's going on? I know, right? All right. You usually make it the last time, so I'm proud of you for coming on in. North Star Prep Sarah, we wouldn't even know what to do with your winter. I don't even know. We wouldn't even know what to do. My wife would freeze to death.
Yeah, I don't do cold. I wanted to tell y'all when y'all were talking about carrots a while ago, something that I found that is I really, really loved. It made carrots a whole lot easier, especially the ones that are a lot more small and dainty. I got a Norwex fruit and vegetable rag, and basically it has little pieces of
I think it's like steel wool.
Steel integrated into the rag. So instead of having to try to use a potato peeler or a knife or whatever on those dainty on those dainty carrots, I use that rag and just rub up and down like I was basically washing it, and it peels all that outside skin off. It gets all the dirt off in the grooves and all of that. And I really, really, really enjoyed using that last year.
Miss Kathy says she had one as well.
I love it.
Cindy Brown, we actually own a broad fork. I even made a mention in the other videos that we prep that way. Yeah, we have a video. I linked the broad fork video actually.
Shown it in the videos before.
Let's see. I linked it in the last video about the broad
spring.
Fork. Yeah.
February or March, into February, 1st of March, we showed how we were actually using that up and down our rows.
We use if we're prepping our beds, we start with, if we're using if we're starting a garden, we use our animals to start it. We go right after the animals, do the silage start. Right after silage start, take it back up, start prepping it with a blowtorch or flamethrower and a broad fork, and then start putting our components on the actual bed.
Let's talk about carrots. So, I'm going to go get a couple, maybe some celery too. We're not crazy about celery here.
That's one thing I cannot stand.
I like it cooked down, cooked down. Like if it's like in dressing, it has to be minced very well. Thin, I can eat it like that. I can eat it in some soups. It has to be really cooked out though. I can't just. Colby can't either.
I cannot stand celery. That's one thing. I love vegetables, but celery is not for me. Bandana Grandma, carrots. I just made lasagna replacing noodles with thinly sliced wide carrots and zucchini, and it was yummy. I think I would like
Thank you,
carrots.
Granny Karen.
I like zucchini done certain ways, but I love carrots. I really do.
Yeah.
I just can't get a taste for celery. It's just something about it. It's just a little too much for me. I'm not a big raw onion fan unless it's like a purple onion if we're eating on salad. So, but it's just that taste of celery. I just can't do it. I can't eat slimy okra either. So, but I just can't do crunchy celery. A lot of people I love peanut butter. I'm a sucker for peanut butter, especially natural peanut butter with no sugar.
Yeah, with all your peanut butter spoons that go in the dishwasher.
I'm a sucker for peanut butter. Like, I don't get enough of it. It's like a drug to me. I love peanut butter. However,
you can eat slimy okra, but not country.
I saw that. But I can't eat, a lot of people put ranch or peanut butter on their celery. I just can't do it.
I do creamy cake. Why do I keep saying creamy? I do, Granny Karen. Maybe it's the strength. I have, let's see, when I was pregnant with Jennings, I guess it was about 2 years ago, I got horrible eye twitch, like an eyelid twitch. And when I went for my regular eye exam, because I wear contacts and glasses, they suggested I have Botox put in for my eye twitch. And I was like, yeah, that's probably a negative. So I put a comment on Facebook one day, and someone recommended this to me.
It's and I drank it. Anti-stress.
Oh, I don't know.
Yes, non-GMO.
Well, it's not GMO. Okay, well, anyway, I had someone suggest that to me. And I drank it every single day, morning and night, for a week, and it was completely gone. But I still will, and it was gone for months. Well, when we went to start school back this year, I guess just trying to mentally prepare, and then all of the stress I went through with the Becca, and I was so upset about all that, my eye twitch come back. So now I'm back to drinking.
It's a magnesium supplement, but it actually, I enjoy it. Missy don't enjoy it too much, but it's
got a little twang to it.
I'd say if you do a heavy organic supplement, it's a good balance to it, because actually it's made out of citric acid, organic lemon flavor, organic raspberry flavor, and organic stevia extract,
which is the plant.
And we enjoy it. Misty don't like it as much as I do.
It's okay. It just has a little twang to it. But it really does work. Like, I did not think I was ever going to have a cure for, when you're talking about your eyelid is just constantly twitching, that is very, very annoying. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there for y'all, because I did not think I didn't ever think I was going to, yes, because magnesium helps with mussels. It's a major component in mussels, which my eye twitch. It's a mussel that's twitching in there. So when I started drinking that, it was gone. I thought it was a joke. I was like, well, I'm desperate at this point. I'm desperate.
Sorry.
But who wants Botox? I'm not getting Botox.
We're trying to be organic and healthy, and that's short on
eat potatoes high in magnesium. See,
we eat potatoes daily.
I do. Yeah, we actually had potatoes tonight for supper. There's a lots of foods that are high in magnesium. Broccoli is one of them. We love broccoli. We eat broccoli all the time. But for whatever reason, I was just not getting enough, and they said it was stress. It's stress related. And I guess just between the girls being little, we were doing school. It was a lot going on. I was big pregnant with Jennings. And anyway, it works. So I just wanted to tell y'all that. I remembered that post actually. Yeah, well, I mean, I have not had any problems until I started going through all the stuff with Becca. And then we kicked off school. We got activities going on. And sure enough, it come back. So I've been drinking my magnesium again.
Rehab life. I love broccoli. That is definitely broccoli and lettuce. That's why I love fall so much. Broccoli, lettuce, and greens are probably definitely my favorites.
Yes, broccoli is probably one of my favorites.
It's probably one of our biggest staples here. If we could just grow more of it, that'd be our problem. But see, again,
if we could grow like broccoli and strawberries like in bulk, like our family would be set basically, because that's like our favorite things. But
really, the only food that we purchased
has not done as well as I had hoped.
Well, it's only really our first year of the strawberry patch, third year.
But you know how a lot of plants, they did so good, and then it was like midsummer. I don't know if they got bugs in them or what, but it's like they just started dying.
I think really the only things that we actually, I say our grocery shopping, if we're talking about foods, would be fruits and off season like lettuce and broccoli. That would probably be our biggest.
Fancy Farmer said, "Did you find broccoli that grew well?"
We're trying 2 varieties.
We planted broccoli in the past, and they grew big and beautiful, put off little stems of broccoli, but that was as big as they would get. Hey, you're the one yawning.
I know.
That's as big as they would get. They would never come to form a big head of what you would say broccoli. So we talked to some of our locals, and
Sam's wife is one of them.
Yeah, that have grown amazing broccoli around here. And apparently the variety that we had was just not good for our area. So we swapped to it's called Destiny, was one of them. I don't know what other one you got.
Waffle.
So we're super excited. If we could grow broccoli and we could get a grip on strawberries,
we'd have a lick.
We would, because that's like our kids'
go-to.
Well, it's not really
edamame. Soybeans would probably be our kids' go-to.
Yeah.
For every child.
Yeah.
And we grew a good chunk of those, not as much as we wanted. And so next year we're gonna try to do a little bit better.
2 gallons of edamame.
But we need to grow a lot more because our kids could eat that every meal.
My new strawberries did.
Grammy Karen, yes, we do. We need to get to 3,000 soon.
Close.
2,700. I know, really. I felt like we were hitting a good stride, and now someone kind of like go back off. So.
That seems to be our.
Yeah. You know, when people say organic growth, that is us when it comes to our channel. Because we've not had. I wish maybe one of y'all would just make one of our videos go viral. That's what you need to do.
Look, we had a really cute name for our tart video, but Colby would not do it.
I thought I'd be shunned on YouTube.
They would shut us down, man. It was really cute. I was like, "Colby, y'all." I mean, it's fun. I mean,
we would get a lot of thumbs down on a lot of people, probably. We wouldn't trend the right way.
I thought it was a very unique name. It was very cute and catchy, but it was also in a joking manner too, because it's what the video was about. But
rehab life, I like Brussels sprouts too a lot. None of the family does. Misty does if she douses them like a saute. Me, I can eat them just barely roasted.
I like them cut in half with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil and some salt, pepper, baked. But they have to be really baked all the way out. I don't want them halfway raw or a little raw. I want them cooked all the way.
I think that's fine. Yeah, bandana grandma. I quit even thinking about it because it distresses me out. So I don't even think about it anymore. I told Misty I would like to get into more juicing some of the vegetables, and that might help with the girls. Because we already drink a lot of smoothies, and we can add stuff in them and things like that. And I drink a drink every morning, and like Misty drinks the calm. And I was thinking, that might be a good thing to do. We just never have really got into it. But juicing might be good.
Smoothies are probably our favorite, and we try to do those like once a week. Like we had one yet this morning. I made a smoothie this morning.
Wheatgrass and moringa pretty much in my diet, pretty much every other day or daily, whereas where they probably don't. And I'd love to could incorporate that a little bit more in our smoothies, and I never think about it. Really.
That's what I was say. I don't ever think about putting it in there. But like this morning, it was blueberries, frozen strawberries, yogurt, homemade yogurt.
The only thing that was not on the farm was strawberries.
Honey.
Everything else was made from our farm.
Yeah.
So it's really good. I mean, I love our smoothies too. I can't.
Little Feet Farm Homestead to just cook the rest of the Brussels sprouts for the year. We attempted some, and they grew.
It just seems like it doesn't get cold enough.
And then they grew probably a foot or two, and then died.
Yeah, they're like this big. So again, that's the only thing about our area. We can grow pretty much all year round, but the cool crop stuff like cabbages, which we grew 2 or 3 big heads of cabbage last year, but like even like cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, some of the stuff that you consider cold weather things.
It's so hard here because it stays so hot. I mean, it will actually get cold in Mississippi
until like January.
We have some cold days in December, but it'll be like, all right, for a week, we'll have like Monday and Tuesday will be like the highs in the 50s, and which is not cold to some of y'all, I know, but here we consider that cold. But then like 2 or 3 days later, it'll be like the highs 65 and back up to 70. We're talking about December, y'all. We're talking about December. And then by the time the weekend comes, the high will be like back down into the 40s. So I mean, that's what our weather does. But then come January and February is about the only 2 months that it stays below 60. Yeah. I mean, and we still have some days that are warm in January and February. I mean, it's just our weather is just not cold weather. It's just up and down.
Yeah, we played soccer in shorts in January. Kim said, I mean, there was a time me and Aiden swam in February in our pool.
It was chilly. March. It was the 1st of March.
It was chilly, but I mean, again, it was tolerable. Thank you for coming on, Noah.
Yes,
thank you for coming on tonight.
Much.
That means a lot. Thank you.
So that's the hardest thing about where we live is our weather is so crazy. I mean, I can remember several years ago we had a Christmas Eve get together at our house, and we were all in shorts and t-shirts because it was so hot. But then come New Year's Eve, the highs was in the 30s. I mean, y'all, that's like crazy.
That's nice, Cindy Brown, to have 60, 70 year round. That's pretty nice.
That'd be nice.
That'd be very nice. We're going to show in the next few videos, you'll start seeing some of our progress on our forest across. We actually have no forest left. Or it's a little bit left.
They're starting to take it. It's going to look really nice. There. I thought it was so pretty.
Well, we still have a big pine thicket. It's just going to push it back a little bit. But this
a little bit.
The thing about what we're doing is, when you think about a tree takes up its nutrients from the ground. So we've had pigs there, we've had chickens there, we've had turkeys there, and now these trees have taken up those nutrients put in the tree. So when we cut our trees and then we come in and mulch all that back down, all the branches and all the what's left of not the logs that the loggers take, it's amazing. So we're spreading those nutrients back over the ground, which is really going to make the ground, I think, take off, especially in ryegrass. That'll help us kind of make sure that's decomposing well and composting well to make for hopefully a great spring and summer next year and starting to grow really good grass for our cattle.
Well, and it's going to be a lot of sunshine over there too with the trees being gone.
Definitely.
I always love to look over there and see. I thought looking underneath it was so pretty. I loved it. I loved riding the Ranger up through there, going over the creek. I thought it was pretty.
It's going to be nice when it's done. It's just a mess right now. So we're trying to get cleaned up. But you'll start seeing those videos too. Fancy Farmer, using biochar. Please don't take this wrong. I think biochar is overrated. I do. I don't think that I think it's great for seed starts and in greenhouses and in soils that are not good. if you got a good soil start mix, biochar can add something to it, but be careful because it can cause harm just as much as it can cause help. So I think it's good, but I think it's kind of like anything else that you get. I think that it's good sometimes. I don't think it needs to be in every mix that you're doing, especially if you're in your garden and things like that. I wouldn't worry about biochar unless you got some major uses for it. But a biochar is something. Biochar is like an additive that a lot of times people mix in their soils, especially seed starts. But if you get a good soil mix and a compost mixed in there, I think you're fine. I think it's a good thing. I just think it could be a little overrated. I know I'll probably get hate mail for that. So,
house cutting of the trees for the new area.
It's going well. It's just
they like a few more days.
I'd say probably 1 or 2 more days.
Then we have to get it all cleaned up.
Yeah, we have a friend that owns a mulcher. If you remember the video where I went and got those bees from a place they were cutting underneath, that gentleman's going to come back and do some of the clearing for us. So we're looking good.
Charcoal. Mm-hmm. I wonder if that's the same thing that they used to make lye soap.
What they do is they take the lump charcoal and they'll usually grind it up to fine ash, and you can mix it in with your
lye.
I don't know,
from ash or something like that. I remember reading a little piece of article on that.
I'm not against it. I think it's great. I just think I think it's just like anything else. I think it's got a good movement now, so everybody is just got to have biochar. Got to have biochar. I mean, our seed starts have done just well without it. So, but it's a lot of people add it to their soil starts or their soil mixes or raised beds. A lot of seed starts are added with biochar. So, anyway, that's my thought on it. I just think it's a little overrated for the amount because it's expensive. It's not cheap at all, especially if you buy it as in biochar versus doing it yourself. So, but anyways, yes, Miss Cecilia, you can make soap without lye. A lot of people make it with milk, especially goat milk, but we love our lye soap. Oh, we really do. It's phenomenal.
You actually, some people do what's called melt and pours, where you can buy the base and basically just melt it and pour it, and then you can add fragrance and stuff. Well, I mean, there are some people that they're basically doing the hard step for you, and you just melt it, pour it, and add whatever fragrance or additives that you want to add to it. So that's an option, is doing melt and pour. I know Bulk Apothecary carries melt and pour soap. I just like to do my own. It's not hard to do. You just have to have a healthy respect for the lye. And I have videos out on lye soap. There are lots of people that have made it and absolutely love it. Grammy Karen is a huge customer. She's bought several. She's bought several bundles of soap from me, and but it's something I enjoy doing. Since school has kicked off, I haven't really advertised. Like I dropped one order off to a lady in town, to our local shop in town, and she said, "Well, you have our family addicted. You
Stacey
can't."
makes it too.
Yeah, she said, you can't pull the plug on us now. You have our family addicted. You have to keep making your soap. So I do. I love to make soap. It's a little time consuming. I mean, it's not hard to do, but the lye takes kind of a time to cool down. So I just kind of have to, back and forth between the oil mixture and the lye mixture to make sure the temperatures are right, because temperature is like a big deal. But yeah, people have watched my video and make their own soap for their family and really love it. I had a gentleman that emailed us, was a coach from another state, and said, "I made your soap, and I just want you to know," he emailed us, didn't he? Yeah. "I wanted to make your soap, but I didn't want anybody to know that I was making soap, but I just wanted you to know it turned out great. Your recipe is perfect. Your instructions are well, and we will never buy store-bought soap again." And we kind of got tickled about that, because he emailed us because he was a coach from another state. He was like, "But I didn't want anybody to know." He was like, "They'll never let me live it down."
He's a football coach, and he said,
"Yeah, it was a really sweet email." Though.
He said somebody tried it, and he said he always says his wife makes it. It's actually just him.
So
if you're watching,
Darlene, thank you. So that was coming, and we get some stuff like that sometimes, but the video, if you follow the instructions, follow the recipe.
Thank you.
I tell you all the tips, like temperature is a big deal, like measuring down to every exact number is so important. Like things like that. But for the gist of it, it's not really hard to do. You just need to have a healthy respect for the lye. I mean, I don't wear gloves or long sleeves or goggles or anything like that. But
just don't put your lye in glass.
But see, I say all that in the video. It's best to use heat-resistant plastic, even though I'm not a plastic person. The lye heats up so fast, like within seconds. I mean, we're talking like almost 300 degrees in like 5 seconds. That if you put it in glass, it will literally bust.
Mm-hmm. It did bust.
And I have done it. So don't do it. Don't make my mistake. Because something had happened to one of my, whatever I was mixing in. I don't know if, the metal bucket that I was using rusted out. So I was like, well, I don't have anything. I have to make soap. So I used glass, and it was like a big pouring glass jar or whatever. But it heated up so fast that it literally shattered and had lye everywhere. It was a total disaster. Do not do that.
Karen, we prefer you to buy it from us too.
Thank you. It's something I really enjoy doing. It really is a lot of fun. It's satisfying to pop them out of that mold and get them cut up and smell them, and you're like, it smells so good. And I really enjoy doing it.
Mason jars work for Kim. That's awesome. You better have some good mason jars, because ours wouldn't work though.
Mason jars worked for me? ? Or is she saying it did, or would it?
I don't know. I would be very wary of that.
Yeah. I make 4-pound batches. Yeah, 4-pound batches. So that's like a lot of dye.
She said it did work for her.
That's a lot of lye and a lot of water. It shattered mine. And because it heats up so fast, like within seconds, it didn't. I had lye everywhere. It was a disaster. I would never do that again. Stacey, I don't advise it.
It does make your house smell great. My favorite, even though I like probably lang-lang and lemongrass personally, it's a smell.
Oranges.
The one fragrance, if she makes it, it just makes it so refreshing. It's nice. It's orange. That's probably my favorite to just kind of smell as aroma. It's just great.
See, she said small.
Small batch, yeah.
So her temperature probably did not get as hot as mine did.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can make like a 1-pound batch, a 2-pound batch, a 4-pound batch, or an 8-pound batch. And I make the 4-pound batch because we have such a big family. It does me no good to make a small batch. We have to have a lot. So I actually have a lot already pre-made and set up, and I have been set. I mean, when people ask me about it, I do sell it, but I did not put it out.
She did hot
Facebook. Too. No, I do cold process.
No, she did hot process.
Yeah, and that might make a big difference. I've never done hot process. I've always done cold process, which it took me a little while to understand the differences, but I do cold process. So.
But I think it's like anything else. Like Missy was saying, we have soap that's already built up, and you make it for now, for later. And I think that's what's so good. Hey, Rhea, thank you. 2 more viewers. Great. But, like we were talking about, like last week, someone asked the question, do we ever think that we'll just stop producing our own meat for a season or our gardens or whatever? I think we can never get that comfortable in it and lax, because basically what we're now putting in the freezer will be for future. What we're eating is what we already had. So our goal is to always stay one step ahead. And that's even with our soaps and stuff. One day I told you we're going to do a prepping video of our pantry and our son's room that's like loaded to
the thing
extra
with
pantry.
Soap is if I was to advertise it on social media, it would all be sold.
That's right.
And then I would be like, I have to make soap again. And I'm so busy right now. School takes up so much of my time during the day. Yeah. So I would definitely have to have a break for that. So I have not put it out on quote social media, because when I've done it in the past 3 or 4 times, when I've made in big, huge batches and I put it out there, it sold like literally within a day or 2. Every batch was, every bundle was sold. So
definitely.
So I haven't really advertised, because if I do, then I know I'm going to have to make it again. I'm not ready for that yet. because school has kicked off and it's time consuming.
On the phone, do you know we're actually opposite? That stresses me out. I didn't know I never paid attention to that.
I haven't either.
Stresses me out already. We're going to change sides. So, I guess that's, if we can get to the end of the season to where we're done with chickens, I think that's going to be good. And I think if we can ever get past this transitional point with the pine trees and getting it finished, I think I'll feel better. I feel like we've just been under so much transition lately. So I'm hoping to see some of that kind of.
Do you use nail oils? Yes. I do have some nail oils. They're probably my favorite. I do have some plant therapy oils.
Plant therapy is probably another one that's just.
I like plant therapy blends mostly. I use those on skin and in the diffusers. I do use a lot of nails in the soap. Peppermint, lemongrass, lavender and orange is usually what I make my soaps in. Now I have bought Lang Lang. It was a different brand. It was 100%
organic. It was organic.
It was 100% pure oil, and it was cold pressed, I believe is what the terminology for it is. It was whatever type of extraction method that I usually look for. It's what it was. So I can't remember the name of it. Did the chat drop off? I'm not seeing much now. Our signal is fine, showing fine.
I hope our signal is fine. If it's not, let me know. Is everybody seeing our chat and everything's okay on the live? It's working, okay. We're just not that important where you have life, so we were just boring to everybody. So nobody started copying.
What Hattie Mae's barking at.
Our dog has gotten better about trying to be a little bit more guardian-like.
Yeah.
At least letting us know if somebody's coming around.
Yeah, she's doing better about letting us know that when people are here. And I heard her barking the other night, and I was thinking she must be after something. Yeah, probably.
Thank you, Fancy
heard
Farmer.
that.
I think when I cut her hair, she liked me more. I think she ended up liking us a lot more. She comes and lays beside me in the stanchion now, and she wants to take care of us. I think she's like, hey, these people actually do love me.
Kids started homeschool. We started August the 2nd or 3rd.
3rd, I think, because it was that Monday.
Monday, yeah. So we have been doing school for almost 3-4 weeks now.
Ruben, South W Tex, we are the same way. We try to buy as organic and as cold pressed as possible, and unrefined especially. The nail oils, that's what we've talked about before, like our lavender and things like that. We buy the now, and not saying it's bad. It's just I would rather the plant therapy. We like the plant therapy because we buy the organic or the kids safe versions when Misty does the blends, and our other straight oils are organic. But sometimes it's hard to find that. It is. You're right.
Good to know you're expanding your larder.
We are expanding our larder. You should see our kids' room. JJ's room has crazy amounts of prepping.
It's extra supplies that
we can't produce, like
garbage bags and stuff like that.
Toilet paper.
When we go pick up something or order something, we'll buy 1 or 2 extra and just put it up for storage, just to have extra. And
we have got, all those people. Don't judge us. Hey, Brad, don't judge us. We have like
Castile soap. No, we don't.
Okay, 400.
We have a few extra large bulk things, and then we have a few extra toilet papers, and then we have some extra flour and sugar.
Would be flour, sugar, peanut butter, and salt,
and
oil.
And yeah, there are several things of oil in there too. Just, that's something that we've been doing this since before COVID. So,
so it's just like normal for us.
It's not anything. We've done this for forever.
I agree. We're preppers more than hoarders. And if you remember the video where we show the freezer upstairs, again, we prep there too. We do some freeze dried foods and stuff like that too. So
there's the longer thing.
Yeah. To be honest with you, we have freeze-dried foods along with all the other stuff that we produce on
hoarding yeast
farm.
and flour.
Hey, we do too. I can't say that. Yeast and
Well,
flour.
the amazing thing is when all of this COVID stuff went down and you would go and you were like, oh my gosh, there's no flour, there's no yeast, or there's no this and that, because I have such a huge
I agree, Ruben.
Sourdough cinnamon roll business in our local town. I bought 200 pounds of flour last year and used half of it, so I still have 100 pounds of flour left. And of course, my sourdough, I already had my sourdough. So worst come to worst, I didn't need yeast, I didn't need flour, because I still had all that stuff. So I wasn't in panic like a lot of other people were. But we could have easily been there had I not had all that extra.
We've already went through that. So it shows how much we cook here at the house.
Since March. I had over 100 pounds.
We probably went through 150 pounds of flour since March, if not more.
No, it would be way more than that.
Yeah, that's right. You're right.
I had Brother David and Miss Linda pick me up 2 bags. I had Miss Belinda drop off a bag. That's another 75 pounds right there.
How much we bought of just our mother.
Yep. So that's something that we've tried. What we have done for years. I mean, this is not anything new for us.
Brad has a large flour mill in his town. How crazy is that?
Oh wow, that's awesome. That's really cool.
Let's see. Fancy Farm, I saw a giant 4-pound yeast block at Costco the other day, and I gasped and hugged it. We buy the what's it called? Red. It's the non-GMO one. That's the one we like.
King Arthur?
No, not King Arthur.
Well,
King Arthur is the non-GMO flour we use, but the yeast is red. What?
Red Star?
Red Star, yeah. So we use Red Star if we could find it. We had to buy another brand this last time because they quit selling Red Star.
But sourdough, I have 2 different sourdoughs. One's fed with potato flakes and sugar, and the other one is fed with just flour. So I have both of those, and that's always such good backup to have. But it's like when you find yourself in
redundancy, guys. That's the important things about prepping and sustainability is redundancy.
Also, only use King Arthur. Yeah,
I like the King Arthur brand. It's a. If you read back their story, they really are a locally owned, family owned flour producer.
Yeah, but they're non-GMO. They're non-bleached.
Non-enriched.
It's as little processed as you can get. I mean,
there's an organic brand we buy too.
I totally agree there. But I mean, our freezers, if worst come to worst, we have a pond. Our freezer was full of chicken. I mean, we could have gotten by, but
meat is definitely a priority. We have so much meat right now. Plus, like Missy says, the availability to hunt and fish is big in our area. Yeah. So meat's a big deal.
But it goes all back to what I said a while ago. This is not something that we just were all of a sudden like, oh, I think we're going to do right now. Like, this is something that we prepared for this for years ago. I mean, years ago, we started working on meat. We prepared the ground for vegetables. We've always bought 1 or 2 extra here and there. Like when we go to the grocery store or we're going somewhere, like this time we'll pick up 2 or 3 extra flours. And then the next time we'll pick up 1 or 2 extra oils. And then the next time we'll pick up 1 or 2 extra sugars. And then over time,
good luck, Kim.
Over time, that builds up. And then so you have that extra stuff. And everything from toothbrushes to toothpaste to soap to, there's stuff that's put up that's just extra. And again, we're a large family, so a sack or 2 of flour is not going to last us a week. It just won't last us a week. So.
Hey, Fancy Farmer, I'm gonna have to look into that. It says King Arthur website sells their flour in bulk packs too.
Wow, that would be
pretty cool. So we need to try that out because it's hard for us to find bulk flour that's healthy. That's clean. So we can go to Sam's or Costco and buy bulk flour, but you're not
processed,
enriched, and all that. We stay away from all that.
We would prefer not to have that, but if it's death from starvation or processed, then obviously you would go with what you had. So,
to be honest with you, our flour and our yeast are almost like our milk. We always keep a lot, but because we're always making, it never really gets old. I know that sounds crazy. Even as much flour as we have, because we use it so much, we never have issues with it.
We have an account.
We have a Azure account,
but we've never ordered anything off of it.
I can't find, and please don't take this wrong, I think Azure Standard and Thrift and Fresh Market, all those things are great.
You're
ordering.
Right, Anna.
And Butcher's Box, all those things are great ordering techniques. But for us, we have found that it's usually it's pretty pricey. So we tend to find it either local or either use the Walmart organics or the Amazon organics.
Night, Grammy Karen. Thank you for joining us.
Good night, Grammy Karen.
Our hour is up.
Oh my gosh!
It always comes faster than we expect. How do you store your extra yeast? Yes, I did read where somebody read quickly. Somebody who said they stored it in the freezer, and I was a little concerned about putting my freezer in the yeast, but I actually
Put your freezer in your yeast?
I mean, my yeast in the freezer. But actually, because I was wondering how the component was going to be, how the temperature was going to affect the yeast. So I actually tested that out. I used a crescent roll recipe that calls for yeast and made the dough up and put it in the freezer and then got it out.
See you, Minzy.
Then got it out. Let it defrost, put it in the oven, and
it did
boom,
good.
It was perfect. So freezer will not affect yeast whatsoever.
Which we didn't leave ours for a long time. So let's preface that too.
Yeah, but I mean, it was like a week.
Oh yeah.
And it's still. My thing was if I put it in the freezer, is the freezing temperatures going to harm the yeast?
Right.
And it did not. But I don't know. I mean, store-bought yeast is different from wild yeast. So if I was to take my sourdough starter and put it in the freezer, it would probably kill it. So I was just testing and it worked. So that's something, if y'all didn't know, you can buy yeast. You can make up dough and stuff with it. And the freezer will not
said that's the
hurt
only way she stores hers.
Well, I tested it. So
we ain't got no extra room.
I'm testimony to it too, that the freezer will not hurt it. It will do just fine.
All right, guys, we're going to say goodbye because we are up for our hour. We talk way too much probably, but that's okay. But thank y'all so much for always coming on. It always means a lot to us. We are hoping to grow our channel. So hopefully if you have friends that like boring people like us, send them our way. We'll be glad to.
Well, I'm hoping that they would be able to learn something from us or be inspired as far as farming or whatnot. So anyway.
Thank y'all again for coming on. God bless.
Happy homesteading, y'all.
Thank you.